Hello, I'm Lucius Havenwood, an experienced expert in self-discovery, and you're watching The Wellbeing Haven. Today, I want to take you on a journey, one that many have tried to escape, but few realize the key has always been in their hands. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? Like you're just going through the motions, day after day, trapped in the same patterns? If so, you're not alone. Most people spend their lives walking in circles, thinking they have no choice. But what if I told you, there's a way out? Imagine your life as a maze. You keep turning the same corners, retracing your steps, feeling like no matter how hard you try, you can't break free. It feels endless, doesn't it? Like no matter what you do, you end up right back where you started. Maybe it's in your relationships, maybe it's your career, or even your personal growth. The patterns are there, repeating over and over. But here's the thing. The walls of this maze, they're not as solid as you think. They're made of your beliefs, your habits, your fears. And just like that, the first step to breaking out is recognizing that these walls are an illusion. They're not real. You see, most of us are so caught up in the cycle that we don't realize we're the ones building the maze around ourselves. Now, think about your life. How often do you find yourself repeating the same mistakes, falling into the same traps? You might think this is just how life is. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if the key to breaking the cycle was simply recognizing it? Imagine being able to step back, look at the pattern, and say, I see you, and I'm not going to walk this path again. That's the power of awareness. That's the moment you begin to break the cycle. Because, my friend, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So today I invite you to stop, breathe, and take a look at the patterns in your life. The cycles that keep you stuck, the walls you've built. Recognize them, because only then can you begin to tear them down. Only then can you escape the maze. You know, we often think of ourselves as these complex, unique beings, shaped by our experiences, our beliefs, our stories. But in truth, much of what we do, think, and feel operates like a program, just like a computer. Imagine yourself as a powerful machine, running code that has been written over the course of your life. Some of this code is useful. It helps you navigate the world, make decisions, learn new things. But other parts of that code, they hold you back. They tell you that you're not enough, that you can't achieve your dreams, that change is out of your reach. What if I told you that you can rewrite that code? That you can take control of the system and install new beliefs, new habits, new ways of thinking that align with the life you truly want. And it's simpler than you might think. One technique you can start using right now is called revision. It's like debugging your mind. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on anything that didn't go as you wanted. Maybe you had a bad interaction with someone, or maybe you let fear hold you back from taking action. Close your eyes and replay that scene in your mind, but this time, see it happening differently. See yourself handling it with confidence, with grace. Feel the satisfaction of things going your way. This simple practice allows you to change the emotional charge around those moments, and, over time, it literally rewires your brain. Just like updating software on your phone, you're installing a better version of yourself every day. Let me tell you about Rachel. She had struggled for years with anxiety, particularly at work. Every time she had to speak up in a meeting, her heart would race, her palms would sweat, and she would freeze up. After learning about the revision technique, she began to practice it daily. Each night, she would revisit those meetings in her mind. But instead of feeling panic, she imagined herself speaking calmly, confidently, her words flowing naturally. And slowly, things began to shift. The next time she spoke in a meeting, there was less fear. Eventually, the anxiety faded completely. The mind is an incredibly powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs to be used correctly. If we let it run on autopilot, filled with old programming, we'll stay stuck in the same patterns. But when we become conscious of the code we're running, we can change it. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And as the observer, you have the power to choose which thoughts you give attention to and which ones you rewrite. So, what program are you running right now? Is it a program of abundance, confidence, and joy? Or is it a program of fear, limitation, and self-doubt? The good news is, you can start reprogramming today. The mind, like a lake, is often disturbed. The winds of daily life stir its surface, creating endless ripples of thoughts, worries, and distractions. It's hard to see beneath those choppy waters. hard to understand what truly lies within. But when the wind calms and the water stills, everything becomes clear. This is what meditation offers us, a chance to calm the storm, to let the surface settle so we can see what's hidden underneath. Imagine for a moment how different your life could be if your mind was as clear and still as a peaceful lake. The noise of the world, your doubts, fears, and anxieties would fade into the background. In this silence, you can find your true self. Meditation is not about escaping your thoughts, it's about making peace with them. When we sit quietly, we often notice how busy our minds truly are. It's like sitting at the edge of a fast-flowing river, watching leaves drift by, each leaf a thought, a worry, a memory. But here's the secret. You don't have to chase after each leaf. You don't have to grab every thought. Simply let them float past. In time, the river slows, the water clears, and what's left is stillness. For many, this seems impossible. How can we calm our minds when there's so much happening around us? Here's where the power of practice comes in. Start small, just a few minutes a day. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, the air entering and leaving your body. When thoughts come, and they will, acknowledge them, but don't engage. Let them pass, like clouds in the sky. Over time, you'll notice something amazing. The noise in your mind starts to fade. The lake begins to calm. You become more present, more aware of the world around you, but also of the world within you. Decisions that once felt overwhelming become clearer. You react less and respond more. There's a beautiful story about a man who, after years of meditation, described his experience as watching a snow globe settle. At first, everything was chaos, thoughts swirling like snowflakes in a storm. But with time, patience, and practice, the snow began to settle, and he could finally see the scene inside the globe, perfectly clear and undisturbed. Meditation isn't about having no thoughts, it's about creating enough space between them to see clearly. In that space, you find wisdom, peace, and the ability to move through life with intention rather than reaction. But don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Start with just 5 minutes. Focus on your breath, and when your mind wanders, gently bring it back. With each session, you're training your mind to be still, to become like the calm lake where everything is visible and nothing is hidden. As you continue this practice, you'll find that the silence within becomes a source of strength. It's in this stillness that creativity is born, that solutions to problems appear, and that inner peace resides. It's where you realize that all the answers you've been searching for outside have been within you all along, waiting for the noise to die down. So are you ready to quiet the noise, to calm the lake, and to see what's hidden beneath the surface? Start today. Start small, and watch as the ripples fade and the clarity emerges. It's time to face one of the most challenging aspects of personal growth, breaking free from the beliefs that have limited us for years, sometimes decades. These beliefs are like invisible chains wrapped around our potential, stopping us from moving forward. They aren't always easy to identify, but their effects are felt every day. They show up in the things we tell ourselves, the opportunities we avoid, and the goals we never pursue because we feel like they're out of reach. Think back to some of the things you heard growing up. Perhaps it was something like, "You're not good at math," or "You can't make a living as an artist." These simple phrases, things we hear from family, teachers, or even friends, have a way of embedding themselves deep within our subconscious. They become the programming that runs in the background of our minds, dictating how we see ourselves and the world around us. Without even realizing it, we start living according to these beliefs. They shape our decisions, our relationships, and even our sense of what's possible. But here's the truth. Beliefs are not facts. They're just stories we tell ourselves, stories we've been told. And like any story, they can be rewritten. Let's use a simple analogy. Imagine your mind is like a computer. Over the years, it's been running on outdated software, full of bugs and glitches. This software tells you what you can and cannot do, based on the beliefs you've accumulated. But just like a computer can be reprogrammed, so can your mind. You don't have to keep running the same old scripts. You can install new ones, scripts that empower you, that align with the person you truly want to become. Take Sarah, for example. She grew up believing that she wasn't smart enough to go to college. This belief followed her into adulthood, and for years, she avoided taking risks or pursuing her dreams. But one day, Sarah decided to challenge that belief. She enrolled in a course, something small at first, just to test the waters. To her surprise, she excelled. That small victory gave her the confidence to pursue bigger goals, and soon enough, Sarah was on a completely different path, one she had once thought was impossible. Her story is a reminder that we are not bound by the beliefs we inherit. We have the power to change them, to reprogram our minds and reshape our lives. But this process requires more than just positive thinking. It requires action. It requires challenging those beliefs head-on and replacing them with new, empowering ones. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. Reprogramming your mind is a gradual process, much like learning a new skill. But with practice and persistence, you can break free from the limitations that have held you back. You can start to see the world and yourself in a whole new light. So how do you begin this process? Start by identifying the beliefs that are no longer serving you. What are the stories you've been telling yourself for years? Maybe it's, "I'm not creative," or "I'm too old to change careers." Once you've identified these beliefs, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Or is this just a story I've been told? And then begin to rewrite that story. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not creative," try saying, "I have the ability to create in my own unique way." Instead of "I'm too old to change careers," say, "It's never too late to start something new." These may seem like small shifts, but over time, they create a ripple effect. They open up new possibilities and pave the way for real transformation. Remember, transformation isn't about becoming someone else. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning, of limiting beliefs, and uncovering the truth of who you really are. It's about reclaiming your power and stepping into the fullness of your potential. As we move forward, take a moment to reflect. What are the beliefs that have held you back? And what would your life look like if you didn't believe them anymore? The answers to these questions could be the key to your transformation. Living in the end is a technique that takes you beyond visualization. It's about fully embodying the reality you want as though it's already here. Imagine this. Everything you've ever desired is no longer a distant dream, but a present reality. How does that feel? It's not about hoping for things to change, nor is it about simply wanting something. It's about stepping into the future you want, right now, and allowing your emotions, thoughts, and actions to align with that vision. So how do you do this? First, let's acknowledge the truth that your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is real. That's why living in the end is such a powerful method. When you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you want, your mind and body begin to believe it. And when you believe something so deeply, it influences your actions, your decisions, and ultimately, the world around you. Let's break it down into practical steps. First, choose a goal, something specific that you truly desire. It could be financial success, a deep relationship, or even personal growth. Now close your eyes and imagine this goal has already been achieved. Picture yourself in that moment, feeling the joy, the satisfaction, the relief that comes with knowing you've done it. What do you see around you? Who are you with? How do you feel emotionally? Let's say your goal is to have a successful career. Picture yourself at your peak, sitting in your dream office, hearing the buzz of achievement around you, and feeling the deep pride that you've made it. Or, if your goal is to cultivate a loving relationship, feel the warmth and joy of being with your ideal partner, sharing meaningful conversations and deep connection. The key is to engage every sense. See the details, feel the emotions, hear the sounds that accompany that reality. Here's a quick visualization exercise to guide you. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in. Let go of any tension in your body and allow your mind to focus on one goal you want to achieve. Picture yourself already living that goal. You're not imagining how to get there. You're already there. Feel the emotions, joy, contentment, success. Hold on to those emotions for a few moments and let them wash over you. As you breathe, let the visualization become more vivid. What do you see, feel, and hear? When you're ready, slowly open your eyes, but hold on to that feeling of having already achieved your goal. This technique, when practiced daily, rewires your subconscious mind, helping you to align your actions and thoughts with your desires. Over time, you'll notice that your reality begins to shift. Opportunities you hadn't seen before will start to appear. You'll find yourself making decisions that are aligned with your goal, and people or circumstances that support your vision will naturally come into your life. But let me address a common concern. You may think, how can I believe in this reality when my current life looks nothing like what I want? This is where faith and persistence come into play. Living in the end isn't about denying your current circumstances. It's about acknowledging them, but choosing to focus on the reality you are creating. You're not pretending your situation is different. You're mentally and emotionally aligning with the future you want, which in turn influences the present. Think of it like tuning into a radio frequency. If you want to listen to classical music, you don't tune into a rock station. You find the frequency that matches what you want to hear. Living in the end is the same. You are tuning your thoughts and emotions to the frequency of your desired reality. And once you're aligned, everything around you starts to resonate with that frequency. As you continue to practice living in the end, you'll notice a deep sense of calm and assurance take over. You'll no longer feel the desperation of chasing after goals because you'll already be living them in your mind. This shifts your energy, and the universe responds to this shift by aligning your outer world with your inner beliefs. So take a moment now to reflect on a goal or desire that's been on your mind. Can you see yourself living that reality right now? How would it feel if everything you wanted was already yours? The more vividly and frequently you can feel this, the more you're bringing it into your life. You don't need to know the how. That's the beauty of this process. The universe takes care of the how. Your job is to live in the end, to feel the fulfillment of your desire, and to trust that life will unfold in ways that support your vision. As we reach the end of this journey, it's essential to pause and reflect on what we've explored together. Throughout this video, we've walked through some profound concepts, each one designed to empower you to take control of your life and shape your reality with intention. Think back to the beginning. We started with the idea of breaking free from old cycles, learning how to reprogram our minds, finding stillness within, and embracing the power of living in the end. But now, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will it remain just ideas floating in your mind, or will you take the leap and start implementing them in your daily life? Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice. It's a decision to take action and rewrite the story of your life. Here's the truth. The world around you is not set in stone. Every day offers a new page, a fresh canvas. Like an artist holding a brush, you have the power to decide the colors, the shapes, and the landscapes that will fill your life. The only limit is your imagination and your willingness to step into that creative role. As you consider this, I want to leave you with a simple metaphor. Imagine that your life is a ship and you are its captain. The waters may sometimes be calm and other times they may be rough. But no matter what, you are always at the helm with the power to steer your ship towards new horizons. The storms don't define the journey, your response to them does. And each of you watching this has the strength to navigate through any storm. Now, as we wrap up, I encourage you to carry these ideas with you. Begin applying them today, even in the smallest of ways. Practice the techniques we've discussed, and allow yourself to see the shifts in your life. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. If you found value in this message, I invite you to continue this journey with us. Subscribe to the Wellbeing Haven, share this message with others who might benefit, and join a community that's committed to self-discovery and transformation. Your reality is waiting to be shaped. The power is in your hands.